Hello everyone, welcome back. Nibble that finger. I forgot that's what it was titled. Well, I think my voice is getting worse, but I can still talk. And I don't think it sounds bad. But the cold has now moved into my chest and I'm coughing a lot, which is causing more strain on my throat, which is going to start affecting my voice, but I probably can't get as high pitched as I normally do, so I'm going to try to refrain from laughing too much, I think. But Lynette and Allan have finally gone into hell, and they're going to be demons like they were supposed to be. So let's see what happens now. At last I felt the lukewarm wind beneath my feet. Allan and I slowly glided down to hell.
ここは相変わらずだな。
I forgot that he only had one wing, because didn't she have the other wing? Weren't they like two halves of the same, or something like that? I surveyed our surroundings with caution. I recognized it from our previous visit during that dark ritual. It was eerie and dark, but oddly calming. Relaxed yet alert, it was an unusual sensation. Some demons stared at us, then scattered in confusion.
行こうか。
I forgot he was Satan in Jupiter's root. I wonder... He's a greater demon, but it doesn't sound like he's Satan. I wonder if he has sins to Satan in this one. Oh, we get to see her in her demon form now. Sure, but where to? She looks cool.
ああ。悪魔界に住んでた頃に、俺が根城にしていた場所があるんだ。数十年前にその根城に少し手を加えておいてさ。そこに行こ
う。Wait, remodeled?
来てみればわかるよ。
It looks just like their home. Allan took me to a place that looked exactly like the home we lived in a century ago. Huh? This is our home in Lost York. What's going on? I looked around in a fit of panic. Aside from the scenery of hell around us, everything inside the house was exactly how I remembered it. My tension suddenly released, and I reverted to my human form. Allan did the same. Oh.
あの家が取り壊しになるって聞いた時にさ、ここに内装だけ移動させておいたんだ。
Oh, okay. So they did save everything that was there and brought it with them.
家の外見は違うし、窓の外は9番街じゃないけど、君と過ごした部屋を残しておきたかったんだ。
Oh, that's adorable. I kind of want to play with you guys in your demon forms, though.
それにいつかこういう日が来ると思ったから。
Amazing. It was our home. I thought we had lost it, but it was here again. In the bathtub is here too.
あ、二人で取り付けたバスタブだからね。これも絶対守りたかったんだ。
It looked weathered, but memories of that day flooded back. I believe that everything had changed, but Allan made so much effort to preserve the things in our life that we found special. Allan, thank you. I hugged him with all my might, and I could tell that he was genuinely relieved.
喜んでもらえてよかった。
It was very husky right in my ear. I had to lower the volume. Allan had always felt reluctant about going back to hell, yet he prepared the surprise in secret just for me. My heart swelled with joy at the sight of our rebuilt home. We had homes all over the human realm, but this was the first we shared as newlyweds. It had a special place in our hearts. Suddenly I spotted something outside the window. Huh? What's that?
おい、アラン・メルビルが帰ってきたぞ。
I saw some small statured demons outside, peering cautiously into our home. We need to get some curtains.
いいところを邪魔してくれるな。本当に鬱陶しい奴らだ。脅さなきゃダメか。ごめん。少し行ってくるよ。
I'll just scare them away. Let the greater demon handle it. Allan grinned menacingly as he approached the front door.
お前たち、誰の許可を得てここにいるんだ？
Outside, Allan intimidated them, flaunting his demonic aura. The demons quivered in fear.
アラン・メルビルが怒ったぞ。
ずっといなかったのに、どうして今さら帰ってきたんだ。
俺は悪魔だ。どこにいようと俺の勝手だろう。
Allan used his abilities to repel the demons. Their combined screams pierced the air.
逃げろ。近づいて食われたら大変だ。怖い。近寄らないのが一番だ。
Demons threw Allan a fearful glance and then sought refuge behind rocks and structures. Wow, Allan really is a greater demon. She's back in her demon form. He grows so much more powerful since our time in the human realm. I thought I understood the extent of his powers. But when seeing that terrifying demonic stare, I grasped the true nature of his might.
まさか俺の家に近づくとはな。命知らずな奴らだ。
I'm starting at midnight, and I've taken NyQuil again, and the talking is already putting a strain on my voice. Not the editing puts a strain on my voice, but I'm not sure if I'll get this edited tonight. I hope I can, but I guess it depends how long it is and how fast the NyQuil kicks in again.
前はそうそう近寄ってこなかったんだが、さすがに悪魔界を離れすぎていたか。
See if you become a pushover or not. As Allan turned back, he saw my astonished expression and looked apologetic.
ごめん。おっかないところを見せちゃったかな。でも安心して。今脅しておいたから。当分あいつらはうちには近寄らないはずだ。
It's okay, I'm fine. Those were also demons, right?
あ、低級悪魔だ。だが、いけすかない奴らだよ。あんなんでも人間は食うんだからな。
Really, they eat humans.
それがあいつらの食事だよ。まあ、力が弱いから実際に食えることはめったにないだろうけど。悪魔がそそのかすって言葉があるだろう。弱った人間の心につけ込んだり、死にかけの人間を狙うんだ。あいつらは。うんざりするぐらい神気臭い奴らだよ。ここは本当に変わらない。
Allan chuckled dreadfully, watching the retreating demons. Suddenly, a heavy sigh echoed from above.
はあ、もう、あなたまだそんなこと言ってるの？たく、何歳になったと思ってるのよ。
Clarice is back. That voice. A familiar voice reached my ears. Seeing the face of an old friend brought tears of joy to my eyes. Clarice?
クラリス。
元気だった？リネット、アラン。
I have not seen her demonic form before. Oh my goodness. She's got little tiny wings. Great. How about you, Clarice?
元気。人間の正気もいっぱい食べてるし。
Clarice licked her lips as she winked at us playfully. Seeing that her mannerisms hadn't changed, I felt my heart burst with joy. I missed you, Clarice. I hardly saw you in the human realm.
心配してくれてたの？ありがとう。今はちょうど人間界に行ってたけど、普段はここに暮らしてるわ。ワンナイトで狩りをするのが私のスタイルだもん。最近はワラントンを狩り場にしてるんだけど、ハイスペックないい男がいっぱいで楽しい毎日を送ってるんだから。
Oh, really? Hearing her talk about hunting ground made me remember that Clarice was a succubus. We were friends in college, but I later found out that she was actually a succubus who entered the dreams of humans to devour their life force. Similar to Allan, I remember from our college days that she wasn't content with just dreams. She's not? I thought she fed on just dreams. I'm glad to see you happy, but if you only go to the human realm at night, does that mean you don't live here? There.
ええ。そもそも人間のふりをしてたのはこの子の手伝いみたいなものだもの。ま、 楽しかったけどね。
Clarice glanced at Allan, who she referred to as the boy next to me. She treated him like a little kid.
クラリス、久しぶり。元気そうで何よりだよ。
あなたたちもね。でもここはいいところなんだから、あんま新規臭い顔しないでよ。
ああ、うん。ごめん。
I remember that Clarice had taken Allan in when he had fallen from heaven. That's why Allan could never stand up to Clarice. I wonder how old Clarice really is. Considering that she was already a full-fledged demon when Allan fell from heaven, I guess that she was much older than us. Clarice noticed my stare and laughed, placing her hands on her hips.
それより、せっかく二人が悪魔界に来たんだし、うちに来ない？パーティーしましょう。
Your place.
ええ、悪魔界にあるクラリスハウスよ。
Clarice house, huh? Oh my goodness, it's pink. It's like all pink. You can't tell the difference between anything. It's hurting my eyes. Clarice led us to her residence.
じゃーん！ここがサキュバスクラリスちゃんのお部屋です。
Oh my goodness, like it really does hurt my eyes. Combined with the pink text box and everything, it's just too much. Wow.
また随分と昔とは変わったな。
Like, it was so pink and distracting, like I didn't even notice that they were in their human forms.
人間界に長くいたせいか、インテリアにはまっちゃって。帰ってくるたびにいろいろ買ってたの。かわいいでしょ？
It is cute. So this is the trend now. Is it okay to bring this stuff back to hell?
まあね。悪魔界には決まり事とかないし、好きに暮らしていいの。
好きに生きて好きに暮らす。それが悪魔流さ。
まあ、大抵の悪魔は人間を食べることしか考えてないせいで、暮らしの部分がおろそかになってるけどね。
He gazed out the window and Clarice gave a shrug. She was probably referring to the demons we encountered earlier. The gods of Celestia didn't put that much thought into their living spaces either. Maybe that just happens when you're immortal. This was something I didn't understand yet. No matter how long I lived, I knew I would remain fascinated by human creations. But being fascinated by humans seemed to be a rare sentiment among the demons and gods, so seeing Clarice's lovely decorations made me happy.
でも、あなたたちがこの悪魔界に来るのって本当に久しぶりじゃない？ 100 年ぶりとか？
ああ、そうだね。俺はそうだ。リネットは
Actually, I came here around a century ago, close to when I was nearly taken for a Sabbath.
サバトで食べかけられた？
あれ、言ってなかったっけ？この子が人間として育っていた時にサバトに連れて行かれたんだ。
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. She was taken when she was a human. She was kidnapped, I want to say she was kidnapped in Greece, but that's probably not the case. But yeah, she was kidnapped during her early college days by demons. I think they posed as humans and like lured her in or something. That was right after her bracelet broke.
そうか。あの時は俺が怪我してたから伝えそびれてたのか。
あのソーセージ食べないで悪魔界に帰っちゃった時のことね。懐かしいわ。で、そうそう、ソーセージよ。実はこの間フランスのリプンで美味しそうなソーセージ買ってきたの。乾杯しましょうよ。ソシソンリプネって名前だったかな。リプンの名産品なんだって。
My spirits, Clarice fetched the sausages and beer from the refrigerator. Wow, you even have a refrigerator here.
まあね、半地下の家から電力借りてるのよ。
Isn't that stealing?
あら、大丈夫よ。彼には最高にハッピーな夢と夜の時間を提供してるもの。
Oh, really? Happy and sensual dreams, do you? Clarice cheekily stuck out her tongue, and placed a finger over her lips. Oh, goodness. I decided it was best not to ask for details about her night activities. Probably.
あら、この子ってば悪魔になったのにまだこんな感じなの？アラン、過保護に育てすぎじゃない？
これでいいんだ。別に悪魔が全員悪魔っぽくならなきゃいけないわけじゃないだろ。
まあ、アランもあんまり悪魔っぽくないものね。
No, only Allan gets to act like a demon during their feeding activities.
悪魔なんだから悪魔らしく自由に生きればいいのに。
別にいいだろ。悪魔らしくない悪魔がいてもさ。
What does it mean to act like a demon in the first place? Well, according to Clarice, it's being promiscuous. I thought about the legends of various demons. Some were malicious, others were mischievous and a bit more fun. Come to think of it, I read about fairies who would steal people's things. Fairies included pixies, banshees, and leprechauns. Some did good deeds while others would cause harm. Perhaps those mischievous fairies were actually demons, much like Clarice with borrowing electricity. Caught in my thoughts and as Clarice observing me.
でもこうやって見ると100年前よりは悪魔らしく成長したかな。
Oh, really?
ええ、まだまだ人間っぽさの方が強いけどね。多分人間として暮らしてたからでしょうけど。ほんと、あなたたちも物好きよね。わざわざ人間の姿を維持しながら人間のふりして暮らすなんて大変じゃない？
それは。
It was so fun though. Every day felt like a honeymoon.
新婚旅行気分で100年も過ごしてたの？
Huh? Yes, I guess so. Allan and I always lived like newlyweds wherever we were. Assuming he felt the same, I looked to Allan for a validation. Unexpectedly, he broke into a hearty laughter.
100年規模の新婚旅行って。
Aw, but wasn't it like that? Every trip we took, you'd always choose a honeymoon package.
いや、うん。そうだよな。確かに俺もそういう気分だった。そうだね。俺たちは100年も新婚旅行に出かけて、ようやく帰ってきたところなんだ。
Al looked at me with a sad smile, but he finally seemed more at ease since we arrived in hell.
本当にあなたたち変わってないわね。なんだか安心したわ。ほらほら、それよりソーセージ焼けたから食べましょう。
Even a pan of fried sausages in one hand and a case of chilled beer in the other, Clarice winked. With that, our first party in hell commenced.
乾杯!
We tested with our beers. I took a sip and realized how long it had been since I had a drink. The taste of the beer made my eyes light up. This beer is so good. Beer is terrible.
でしょ？最近新しくできたクラフトビール専門店で買ってきたの。やっぱりお酒は人類の英知よね。さすが紀元前からあるだけあるわ。
Oh, that's right. The practice of drinking alcohol has been around for thousands of years. Even gods and demons loved alcohol. As I downed the drink, I marveled at the fact that gods, demons, and humans all had this common interest. The BC era, Clarice, just how long have you been alive?
え？ちょっと、そんなに年いってないわよ。
If you're in the BC era, you're like over 2,000 years old.
え？そうなの？
Really?
そうなのって。ああ、そういや私何歳なのか言ったことなかったっけ？
ああ、俺は聞いてないな。
と言っても、もう覚えてないのよね。 生まれた頃のことって。
Claire tilted her head as she nibbled on a sausage.
さすがにもう結構文明があったとは思うんだけど、いつ生まれだったかな。
The word nibble made me remember that this section is called Nibble That Finger. I'm wondering when that's going to come into play. Clarice, you don't remember where you were born. Then could you have been an angel too?
違う。クラリスちゃんは純粋な悪魔。生まれた時からの悪魔よ。
So how are demons born?
まあ、クラリスはれっきとした悪魔だよ。深海も天海も知らなかった。
I see. Then how are demons born? Do they reproduce like other creatures? I assumed that demons would be born in a way that was similar to humans, but Clarice merely shrugged.
悪魔から悪魔は生まれないわ。
悪魔はある日突然生まれるらしいんだ。天界で生まれる天使みたいにさ。
They just form out of nothing. Really?
ああ、と言っても稀に俺みたいに打点して悪魔になるやつもいる。でも基本はここで生まれたやつらだよ。
Oh. Despite being a demon for a century, I realized that there was still so much I did not know about being a demon. I never asked Allan about it. So demons spontaneously come into being and then mature by committing bad things.
そう。誰かが産んだり作ったりするわけじゃなくて、自然発生なの。
That's still really strange.
悪魔は人間や生物みたいに自分で仲間を増やしたりはできないのよ。
I had no idea. Demons couldn't increase their population intentionally. That realization made me sad, but I quickly dismissed the feeling. I still hadn't grasped the true reason behind this pain. Because you want to chat with Allan? Perhaps it was because I was just happy to be with Allan.
でも天使も同じなんでしょ？自然発生する感じで別に神々が産んでるわけじゃないとかなんとか。
ああ。と言っても正確に仕組みを知っているわけじゃないけどさ。すべての知識は十二神が占有している。天使もキューピッドも堕天使もどう生まれるのか実際のことはわからない。と言っても天使や悪魔が増え続けて困ってるなんて話は聞いたことないからな。うまくバランスは取られてるんだろ
う。かもね。上級悪魔も全然増えてないし、久々に増えたのはあなたぐらいよ。
Me? You mean me?
そうだけど。やだ、何？あなた、自分が上級悪魔になってるって気づいてないの？
Wait, she's a critter demon. I am? That's Allan, who looked away awkwardly.
ああ、まあ。10年ぐらい前には。
And you kept that from her? Really?
もう、なんで黙ってるのよ。
Why would you keep that from her? That's what she wanted.
言えるわけないだろう。
He blushed. Maybe how could you?
何よ。上級悪魔になるのはおめでたいことじゃない。それともまだ自分のせいで悪い悪魔になったとか言うつもり？
Yeah, the big bad demon. So he called himself in the other route.
いや、その方法が。
The way it happened. Oh. And he's blushing.
ああ、力を注ぎすぎだってバレるのが恥ずかしかったわけ？
別にそういうわけじゃ。
Power. A demon could transfer power through one of two ways. One was a demon's kiss, the other was, yes, we know what the other way is.
でも、それだけで100年程度で上級悪魔になるなんてね。確かに言うのが恥ずかしいかもね。
You've given her so much power in 100 years. Clarice.
安心してよ。私も人間の男から正気を絞りまくったおかげで100年ぐらいで上級悪魔になったんだから。
She's super proud of that too.
クラリスちゃんと同じぐらい優秀な悪魔ってこと。
I did the same amount as Clarice. It was an honor to be a greater demon, but considering Clarice's depraved nightlife, I had mixed feelings about this revelation.
いやー、勤勉な悪魔で私も嬉しいわ。こんなに向上心のある子、なかなかいないもん。
向上心って。
だって最近生まれた悪魔はみんな怠けてて、ずっと低級悪魔のまんまなんだもん。サキュバスとインキュバスでさえも夢食べるより寝てる方がいいとか言っちゃってさ。もう最近の若いもんは。
Oh, really?
そうだらだらとくっちゃねしてるのが大半よ。あとは適当にヤギあたりを盗み食いしたりするぐらいね。
Goats, not humans. I recalled what Allan had said earlier about the lesser demons. Clara simply shrugged.
ああ、あれはたまにのごちそうよ。そもそも悪魔たちはみんな弱すぎてめったに人を襲えないわ。安心した？
Yeah, just a bit. So they mostly hunted goats. It was rare for them to attack humans. He was right. Hearing that gave me a sense of relief. Although it wasn't right for demons to steal, at least they weren't eating tons of humans. But they still hunt humans sometimes, right? That was a major reason why gods would punish demons, since it was the gods' duty to guide and protect humans. The gods never came to punish us while we were in the human realm, did they?
まあ、そういえばそうだな。俺たちが神基準で悪いことをしていなかったからだとは思うけれど。
You guys were indulging in each other instead. That's right, we never harmed humans after all.
私も別に襲われたことないわよ。
You guys usually manipulate their dreams.
俺も一度だけだな。
Oh? I remember that time. Remember he came after her, right? When I was still a Cupid, Lord Jupiter intended to take me back to Celestia, but Allan wouldn't let him and tried to strike him down. You were still Cupid. I thought she only wore her hair down like that after she was reborn as a human. Still, I had my Cupid's arrow. Allan was reprimanded for trying to hold on to a divine artifact. Unless the gods were threatened, it was uncommon to face their wrath. Most misdeeds were overlooked. But if a god was harmed in any way, there would be nowhere to hide.
サキュバスは最高のエンタメを提供してるぐらいだし、別に神が困ることはないはずよ。
ああ。君はむしろ恋結びをしていたし、神の怒りを買うことはないはずだ。
I see, that makes sense. Imagine being punished by Mom and Dad in Celestia made me sad. I was relieved to hear that the gods weren't angry with me. But gods and demons. I had avoided thinking about the dynamic between gods and demons for 100 years. I just wanted to remain happy and ignorant. I had no regrets, but still I knew that my choice had come with a sacrifice. I didn't want to think about what I had lost.
このソーセージ、ハーブの味が効いてて最高ね。オリーブと胡椒もいいアシストしてるわ。
I need to change the subject.
悪魔なのにハーブが好きなんて、クラリスも十分変わってるよ。
あら、二人だって好きでしょ？
Is there a link between demons and herbs?
一応ハーブは魔除けってことになってるんだ。人間たちの間ではね。
確かローズマリーが悪魔から守ってくれるハーブなんだっけ？こんなに美味しいのにね。
There's plenty of rosemary in our sausages. Claire seemed to love it and I had no issues with it either. Are some demons sensitive to herbs?
ああ。さっき言ったみたいな低級悪魔たちは浄化作用のある食べ物や物体が苦手だったはずだ。 だから、そうだな。家の周りにハーブでも植えておこうか。あいつらが覗きに来ないように。
あ、私もやろうかな。いい悪魔よけになりそう。
Lucy plans to repel demons in hell. Being a demon myself, the idea of planting herbs to keep other demons away felt strange. But the gods had their disputes, and humans were at war all the time. It seemed that gods, demons, and humans weren't all that different.
そうだ。ハーブといえば、そこのハーブリキュールを使ってよければカクテルを作ろうか。
ああ、そういやアランってカクテルも作れるんだったっけ。懐かしいわね。よろしく。
I'd love one too. It's been a while since I've had one of your cocktails, Allan.
了解。
Allan grabbed the herb liquor from Clarice's room, found a shaker in her kitchen, and began making us some cocktails. I remember, after we closed up our pillow shop, Allan worked as a bartender in Lost York for a bit. Oh?
お次は何を飲まれますか？スイートなものも、スパイシーなものも、何でもご用意できますよ。
Of course, the theme of this game. My bad. With smooth lines like that, he charmed his way into people's hearts and attracted many female customers to the bar. But we knew it was a bad idea to stand out, so he quit bartending and we moved to Crunch Canyon to live in a more quiet lifestyle. It's been a century since then. In those 100 years, so much had happened. It felt like both an eternity and a fleeting moment. We got to see so many sides of Allan during that time. He possessed both a gentle touch and a demonic harshness. He was multi-talented, having mastered a variety of odd jobs before our reunion. Aside from making cocktails, he was an excellent cook and carpenter. He could make anything with his hands. It truly was remarkable. With Clarice around, life in hell might just be entertaining. I had my worries about adapting to life here, but things seemed promising. Everything would work out. To entertain those thoughts as I enjoyed more beer and sausage. In hell, there's no day or night, so our celebration continued uninterrupted.
もう飲めない。
Before I knew it, Clarice was tipsy. Just like old times. I recall Clarice's drinking habits back in college. The longer the party goes on, they just transform into their demon forms now. She used to drink excessively whenever she was rejected by the current target of her affection. Alright, Clarice, time for bed.
リネット、運んで。
Oh my goodness. Oh, come on. I helped Clarice up and brought her to bed. Afterwards, Allan and I started tidying up. Earlier, Clarice had mentioned that she set up her trash can to act as a portal to a dumpster in the human realm. Oh, really? It was a clever use of demonic power.
こっちの片付けは終わったよ。そっちはどう？
Oh, I think it's fine. At least they're not wasted, I guess.
じゃあ、俺たちも帰ろうか。
Yeah, let's do that. Clarice, we'll see you later.
はーい。
While sprawled out on her bed, Clarice gave us a lazy wave. It was a scene I was quite familiar with. After returning home, I sat down on our bed. Ah, that was fun. Allan sat beside me. Still in our demon forms, we looked at each other and smiled.
君が楽しめたなら何よりだよ。
Yeah, it was so nice to see Clarice and to catch up. The beer and sausages were tasty too.
ああ、俺も。あれだけ飲んだのは久しぶりな気がするよ。だからかな、少し酔った気がする。
Oh, are you? Huh? He seemed fine earlier, but maybe it took some time for the alcohol to hit. I know he did seem fine. Allan, are you okay?
大丈夫だよ。でも、少しいいかな。
Would it be okay if you went to nibble that finger? Without waiting for my reply, Allan laid his head on my lap. Wow, it's unlike Allan to be so clingy. It seemed that he was more drunk than he looked. He begged for a lap pillow and fawned on me. Oh, that's his head, huh? Okay, we're gonna do both. We're gonna rub his back first. He looks so sleepy. I rubbed his back and he nuzzled me in response, much like a cat would.
ここも楽しい時を過ごせそうだろう。
Allan's voice carried a hint of uncertainty as if he feared my answer. Wanting to ease his worries, I replied wholeheartedly. Yes, today was really fun and I'm eager to explore more about this place. I feel like he's gonna fall asleep any minute. His eyes started to close and he smiled as he took my hand, pressing a kiss to my fingertips. I'm gonna go back up and we're gonna read the rest of it. Pat his head. He's so cute. I gently patted his head and his lips curled into a relaxed smile. It was rare to see him look so vulnerable.
ねえ、リネット。君はここを気に入ってくれた?
Allan looked up at me with wide, glassy eyes. He had an innocent yet anxious expression. I smiled and stroked his hair with my fingers. Of course. His eyes started to close and he smiled as he took my hand, pressing a kiss to my fingertip. He began to playfully nibble on my finger, but drifted off to sleep soon after. He's asleep. Allan was sound asleep, taking slow, even breaths. It was unusual to see him like this. I know, like he never sleeps, right? He never sleeps as a greater demon. Perhaps reuniting with Clarice, who was somewhat of a mother figure to him, provided some relief. This place was like a home for demons. Despite his initial hesitation, it must have been nice to return here. I want to see if he said anything. Even in his sleep, he murmured my name, nuzzling closer. His gesture was so childlike, I couldn't help but smile. I wish he'd be like this more often. I know, everyone likes a cuddly man, right? I like a cuddly man. My husband's hardly ever like that too. I didn't feel like sleeping just yet. I sat there admiring Allan's peaceful face. Maybe it was the alcohol, but his face seemed a shade redder. As I stroked his cheek, he made a small face. He clung to my clothes as if he was afraid I would leave. I covered his hand with mine. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. He may have been asleep, but I felt like he heard me. A contented smile graced his face and he breathed more easily. Good night, Allan. I gently swept his hair to the side and nestled next to him, careful not to disturb his sleep. Allan must have bought a new mattress. It certainly smelled new. For some reason, that smell felt nostalgic to me. A kiss to cool the fire. Oh my goodness. It's like every section title is something um spicy. That's the word I'm thinking of. I'm like, it's not risque, but every title is something like on the spicy side of things as far as like the romance goes, I guess. Anyway, the next day I woke up to the sound of sizzling. I opened my eyes in a haze and noticed Allan in the kitchen. Allan is making food. The scene flooded with me with memories. It was almost as if we traveled back a century. Come to think of it, he often cooked for me in this house. I remembered how I would always wake up to the smell of breakfast.
起きた。
Al shot me a quick glance while continuing to cook. It'd been some time since I saw him with a frying pan. The sight warmed my heart, prompting me to rise. Yeah, good morning, Allan.
おはよう、リネット。ご飯もう少しでできるから。
Allan called out to me from the kitchen, a sound I hadn't heard in ages. Outside, the cityscape of the lost work was missing. Here in hell, there was no day and night, and I missed the comforting glow of the sunlight. Yet the familiar morning atmosphere warmed my heart. A new morning in hell had come. I decided to freshen up, hoping to relive the same mornings from a century ago. I stretched a little and climbed out of bed. This is so good. Allan's cooking was, as always, impeccable. On the table was fluffy croissants, creamy scrambled eggs, a fresh salad, and sizzling sausage. The coffee, aromatic and rich, reminded me of the beans we used to purchase. How did you manage to get all these ingredients? We'd only returned yesterday. The fridge shouldn't have been working, and we hadn't done any shopping. I wondered if there was a supermarket in hell, but Allan quickly interrupted my thoughts.
ああ、早くに目が覚めちゃったからさ。人間界まで行って買ってきたんだ。
He is all refreshed, no hangover whatsoever. Really, I didn't notice at all.
起こさないように気をつけたからね。それより、昨日はごめん。抱きついたまま寝ちゃって。苦しくなかった？
I think that was adorable. It's okay. How do you feel? Any hangovers?
もちろん。君は平気？
Yes, it felt nice to let loose after so long.
それはよかった。
Allan looked genuinely relieved.
相変わらず君はお酒に強いね。
I know, it comes from being a god. She give her chocolate, though. That would be fun. Maybe it's because I was a god. We chatted about this and that as we enjoyed our breakfast, then washed our dishes together afterwards. Once the chores were done, I gazed out of the window and looked over Hell's landscape. Darkness reigned supreme, and I could see various demons flying with their wings. Hey, Allan, what's the plan for today? I thought about inviting him out for a walk as his eyes glanced towards the front door.
まあ、それなんだけど、ガーデニングをしようと思ってたんだ。
Gardening to ward out the lesser demons? Gardening?
うん。実は人間界に行ったついでに、ハーブの苗を買ってきてさ。
That's funny. Allan opened the front door and I saw that there was numerous packages of seeds.
低級悪魔よけにもなるし、料理にも使えるだろ。ここなら土地も山ほどあるしさ。それに、せっかく暮らすし、窓からの景色も楽しみたいと思ったんだ。
Yeah, I don't want those pesky demons peeking in your windows. Especially if you're doing a feeding session. You need some curtains. Like, how do we go get some curtains? Allan began planting herbs in the prepared soil.
よっと。
I thought that some plants wouldn't do well being planted so close to each other, so I asked Allan about it. Oh. Point to the left, point to the right. I'm gonna point to the right first. Is it okay here?
まあ、うん。大丈夫だよ。それはベルガモット。 松明花とも言うかな。葉の香りがベルガモットオレンジに似てるらしいよ。
Oh, so the leaves smell like fruit. That's fascinating. I can't wait to see it grow.
そうだね。あ、カモミールは少し離した方がいいから、そっちに植えてもらえる？
Got it. And these?
あれは月桂樹だよ。乾燥させてシチューを煮込む時にでも使おうか。
Ah, I've always loved your stews. Can't wait to taste that. I think we've gone. Like the choice is very slightly different from each other, so I'm sure you can. I'm sure it doesn't take too long to go back. Wait to the left. Is this spot good for them?
ああ、うん。大丈夫だよ。それで、ここにはこれを。これぐらい離して植えれば大丈夫かな。
This one smells nice. Is it mint?
あ、それでこっちがローズマリーとラベンダーだ。
I really do hate the smell of mint leaves. When we lived in Utah, like we had a whole bunch of wild mint leaves next to our driveway, and it was the most awful smell ever. Everyone else liked it, but I hated it so much. Wow, I'm excited for when they're ready.
収穫って。そうだった。君はミントティーが好きだったね。
Oh right, he's growing them to ward off demons. I was only thinking about eating them. I felt a little embarrassed for being such a glutton. So what's that leaf over there? What kind of herb is that?
あれは月桂樹だよ。乾燥させてシチューを煮込む時にでも使おうか。
I've always loved your stews. I can't wait to taste that. We chatted about the plants as we got them all on the ground. I didn't know bay laurels could grow in hell. Bay laurels were strongly associated with Greek mythology, so they were viewed as divine. Daphne tried to escape Apollo's courtship by turning herself into a laurel tree. Those laurels were considered sacred even to Apollo. During ancient times, crowns made of laurels were a symbol of achievement. In modern times, demons use laurels for stew. It's been 100 years since my transformation, but the line between gods and demons often seemed thin.
だいたいこんなもんかな。これだけ魔除けのハーブを植えておけば、低級悪魔たちは近寄れないはずだけど。どう？君は気分悪くない？
Yeah, I'm fine.
ならよかった。上級悪魔になれたおかげだな。
A greater demon. It still didn't feel real to me. I thought I would feel different after becoming a greater demon, but nothing seemed to have changed. But if I'm a greater demon, then that means I should be able to do more things like Allan. Yet watching Allan work, I realized how different we were. His every move was graceful. Allan always had a knack for things. Even in heaven, he was precise and diligent. He was always good at lining things up accurately. He was always so earnest and took his job seriously too. That's why he was able to take on any job that came to him. I wonder if I can be more like him someday. Though I've been a demon for a century. I was first an angel, then Cupid. I'd been around Allan longer, but I lacked his competence. But now that I'm in hell, I could go and ask advice from Clarice. As we worked together in the garden, I was reminded of the time I lived as a human. As a human child, I always felt someone's presence when I played outside. A dark wing shielded me from harm. I didn't know it back then, but it was Allan, the love of my life, watching over me. Hey, Allan.
Hmm?
Thank you.
急にどうした？
Just happy thinking of everything we do together and how you always care. So, thank you, Allan.
リネット。
Still kneeling in the dirt, we shared a kiss beneath the laurels. Being this close to him filled me with happiness. He gave a slight, squinted smile and caressed my face.
No.
Oh? Alan looks surprised. What is it?
ごめん。手が汚れてるの忘れてた。
Oh, she just smeared dirt on her face. Same here. We had been gardening before we touched each other's faces and kissed. Now we both had dirt on our faces. We looked at each other and burst out laughing simultaneously.
待ってて。今タオルを持ってくるから。
Alright, I can't giggle with my voice the way it is. It hardly ever comes out. No, hold on. We're almost done working. Now how about we take a bath together after this?
What?
Why are you blushing? Like, you've been together 120 years. Like, get over it. And then, like, taken aback, I didn't think my suggestion was that shocking. I know, right? His reaction made me wonder if I had said something inappropriate. This place has a bathtub. I just thought it would be nice. Can we?
そうか。そうだった。ごめん。なんかこういうやりとりが久しぶりだったから。
What about what? Sharing a bath? I guess it has been. Over the past 10 years, we'd been constantly on the move without a fixed home. Most places only had showers. Finding a place with a bathtub was rare. I think decades had passed since we last bathed together.
そうだね。一緒に風呂に入ろうか。
Okay, I'll get the water ready.
ありがとう。じゃあ俺はここを片付けてから行くよ。
I filled the tub with hot water and added bubbles. We hadn't enjoyed a bubble bath together in years. Oh my goodness. It sounded like he said that with a mouthful of her lips. Oh my goodness. Holding each other, we shared multiple kisses, enjoying the bath. Are you sure that's what you're enjoying right now? It's been a while since we've done this. Feeling the bubbles bursting and warm water on my skin was so comforting. We used to do this often. When we tried living like humans, we'd stay in the bath until the water turned cold. The warm water improved my circulation. I hadn't felt so human in a while. As we kissed, I held him tighter. His wet skin felt enticing. Even though I thought I was used to this, I blushed. This reminded me of a past moment. Allan looked so different with wet hair. Oh, really? I glanced away, but he lifted my chin and pulled me close.
君は本当に変わらないね。
Our lips met again, his arms wrapped around my waist, making me catch my breath.
リネット、おいで。悪魔の力を注いであげる。
Allan, but... I'm a greater demon now. Should we still do this? Ressa told me just yesterday that I was now a greater demon. I was unsure if I still needed his powers. Allan just laughed. It's not about powers. You guys are a married couple. Come on.
上級悪魔になったからもう十分だって。
It was just his excuse to be with you. I mean, I'm grateful, but over a century he had given me much of his powers. Demons can't increase their numbers naturally. That made this act somewhat redundant. Not redundant. Why are you thinking about that? I mean, I haven't been able to have kids for 12 years. It doesn't make it redundant. Whatever. Huh? Wait, redundant? I know. Why are you thinking about that? The moment I had that realization, I felt my heart sting. This wasn't about necessity. It was a way for lovers to show affection, but this act no longer had a purpose. What if it felt empty? I no longer had a need for power, and this act would never create new life. I remembered how Allan wished for me to experience the happiness of a human. I guess she was thinking too much in demon perspective that she forgot that this is just an act of love between you and your husband. There were some things that humans could have that neither gods nor demons could. It would always be beyond our reach.
リネット、そんな顔をしないで。
Allan touched his forehead to mine, smiling gently, a trace of sorrow in his eyes. He understood my thoughts.
俺がしたいんだ。君ともっと近くにいるって感じたい。理由はそれだけじゃダメ。
The gentle smile blurred my vision with tears. Yes, it is good enough. I placed my arms around his neck, holding him close. Of course it's good enough. Even humans don't need a reason to do this with their lover. It was an act of pure pleasure. Humans overlooked the biological purpose and would simply indulge. It was an act that went against one's every existence, yet no one doubted it. It was silly in me to have doubts. There was no need to overthink. Allan, I want you to.
一緒になろう。
We shared many kisses, our connection deepening with each one as we found ourselves addicted to each other's bodies. We hoped that happiness awaited us, that our actions had meaning. Allan, I'm so happy right now.
俺もだ。
Like bath bombs dissolving in water, our bodies melted together. We intertwined until nothing separated us. Yet we couldn't truly become one. That's why we sought reassurance in each other's presence. How can you do that in a bathtub, though? Like, that doesn't give you very much room. We touched, feeling the warmth, letting the other know that we were there. I didn't want to believe that this act had no meaning. It does. It has plenty of meaning. After the bath, I lied in bed, feeling dizzy from the prolonged heat. I felt dizzy.
ごめん。ちょっとお湯が熱かったね。
But it wasn't just the water's heat that did this.
ほら、水を飲んで。
Thanks. I sat up and sipped the water Allan handed me. It made me feel a bit better. Drinking water, sleeping, eating, these comforts were constants. This part of me remained unchanged. My human sensations remained, perhaps because Allan wished for me to experience human joy. Though a demon now, I was once a god. I was raised like a human, yet what healed me the most were demonic powers. Receiving so much power from Allan left me warm. I hesitated, wondering if it was okay to accept so much. Allan wishes to share his demonic power with me. I set the cup beside the bed and gently tugged Allan's hand as he sat next to me.
どうしたの？
Allan, is it okay that I always take from you?
俺も君の夢を食べてるだろ？
That's true, but now that I'm a greater demon, shouldn't I give you some of my power? He blushed. That was so cute.
あ、いや。なかなか大胆なことを言うなと思って。
Is it? I'm not familiar with these demon customs. Actually, how do I give you my demonic powers in the first place? On reflection, I realized I should know how to share my power with him. I looked straight into Allan's eyes, awaiting his explanation. He blushed and looked away.
ああ、そうか。まだ教えてなかったんだっけ。あ、いや。でも、俺はいいよ。
Why is he so hesitant? I want to know. But if something happens to you, I should know how to transfer power. Please teach me.
その、なんて言えばいいのかな。マリクは体液を媒介にして渡したり奪ったりできるんだ。ほら、人間の伝承に吸血鬼の話があるだろう。あれも血液を通して魔力を奪った悪魔の話がああして伝わったものなんだ。だからその伝承にある吸血鬼みたいに血を通してもいいし、別のものでも構わない。
Something else. You mentioned that any bodily fluid could be used as a medium, and when he transferred power to me, he wasn't using my blood, so... Huh? Hold on. Does that mean... Wait, we're just putting 2 and 2 together? Like, I don't understand. He says, I'm going to give you demonic powers, and then you sleep together. Like, how could you not put 2 and 2 together? Covering my mouth with my hand, I gasped in realization. So, when we kiss, I could transfer my power to you.
ああ、うん。実はね。相手に渡したいと君が願うか、俺の方が力を奪いたいと思えば、いつでも悪魔の力はもらえる。
I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, well, every time I do this, she has a chance of giving him powers, right? So, how do you not? But this makes sense. Whenever you initiate it, you either choose to draw it out or return it. So that makes sense, I guess.
と言っても、低級悪魔が噛みついたぐらいで、力は奪えないけどね。大切なのは、与えたいと君が願うことだ。だから、欲しい時には言うから。今は考えないで。
Is he going to become in need of it, just like Jupiter was in need of her energy? I'm sure it will. I'm sure there's going to be some point in time in this tree where Alan's going to need her power. Okay. I see, so it's that easy to transfer power. It suddenly dawned on me why a demon's kiss was considered to be special. Our kissing and acts of intimacy were also methods of exchanging power. I felt like it gave those acts a purpose after all. Alan, can we try it out?
練習って何を?
I want to see if I can transfer power to you. This. She'd tackle him. She'd tackle him to the bed. I pushed Allan back onto the bed, positioning myself on top of him.
Lynette?
I mean, if I knew how to do it, I probably want to see if it worked too. Let's practice. I want to try giving you power.
いや、俺は別に十分足りてるから。
Doesn't matter. But I took a lot earlier, so I want to give a little back.
だからって、こんな格好じゃなくても。
What do you mean in her condition? Why is he so embarrassed about this? Alan's cheeks turned a deep shade of red, and his eyes darted around. Seeing him this way, a mischievous urge welled up within me. I don't understand why he's so embarrassed. He's been doing this to her for so long. It's your turn to receive. I wanted to toy with him. This is how it felt to be a demon. Now stay still. Oh my goodness. Leaning forward, I gently cupped his face and intended to transfer my power as our lips met. Wow, so this is how it feels. You made him transform too. I wanted to give. He kissed and I focused on that desire, making the sensation feel slightly different from usual. I couldn't put it into words, but something seemed to be leaving my body, cooling the intense warmth that I had felt before. Whenever I received a power, I felt a hot sensation, but now I realized that giving it away had the opposite effect. How was it? Did I do it right?
できてたけど。
You think, huh? And then one more time.
いや、もう。
I placed my hand on his chest and kissed him once more. This truly was an extraordinary experience. This is what a demon's kiss is like. I've never experienced anything like it before. As we kissed, I wrapped my tongue around his, focusing on transferring my powers to him. Doing this for the first time was thrilling, and I began to lose control. Allan suddenly grabbed me by the shoulders.
もう、それぐらいでいいから。
I have a feeling that Allan just likes to be the one in control of situations like this. He pulled away, rising to his feet, his face flushed a bright red. You sure? I was thinking of giving some back since you always give me so much.
いや、もらいすぎなぐらいだよ。
He rested the back of his hand against his cheek, looking away, seemingly trying to cool down his heated face. We had kissed and shared so much more countless times already. What was there to be embarrassed about? I know, right? I don't understand either. Does hell have customs against doing something like this?
いや、そういうわけじゃないんだ。ただ、こうやって力をもらうのは初めてだったから。
I know, he's in control of every situation when he gives her powers, when he takes them in her dreams. Oh, really?
俺が他の悪魔から力をもらうわけないだろ。
Alright, sorry, I thought I knew this already. Allan was an incubus. He was a demon who ate dreams, and he performed these acts only in dreams. He told me I was the first person he slept with in real life. That's why it really was the first time he received energy in this manner. Something about that made me happy. I had another first with him. We'd been together for so long, yet there was still things we'd experienced for the first time. Allan, I love you. Buried his face into my shoulder and sighed, fatigue evident in his voice. Allan appeared to be exhausted from being led around by the nose. I couldn't resist and gently ran my hand over his head. You're so cute. As if in playful retaliation, Allan began to mess my hair. We hugged and playfully rolled around on the bed together.
本当に君は俺を幸せにしすぎだ。
Gentle hands caressed my shoulders, cheek, and neck. We closed our eyes and kissed. This time, the kiss was free from any transfer of powers. We gave, we received, we completed each other. The sweet yet depraved act held a deep sense of dedication. We held hands and our foreheads touched. That tender gesture was all that lingered. Act with the devil. Oh, really? Is he gonna become Satan? Ah, that would be so cool.
人魚姫は人間の王子に恋をしてしまいました。しかし人魚と人間は生きる場所も寿命も魂のあり方も違います。
The next thing that is read is so interesting and I am very curious, but I have strained my throat enough as it is and I don't have a CG, so I'm gonna have to stop recording here for tonight and I'll record more tomorrow. Unfortunately, like this is gonna be like, I don't know how long this one's actually gonna be. That was only like 25 minutes, so hopefully it doesn't go too long. Hopefully the next section isn't longer than 30 minutes and we get a CG. We got, I thought we were going to get more CGs because of how long it is, but I guess not. Whatever. Whatever, it's fine. So I'm going to pause here and pick up tomorrow. So I apologize that these episodes are coming out like every other day, but with me being sick, like I just can't. It's a huge drag on my throat and my chest and it's just getting worse, and so I hope it doesn't get any worse than this so I can keep reading. But now I'm going to have this cough for like a month now because that's just how it is when I get sick. I get sick, I have a cough for a month and it's just torture. Anyways, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Alright, we're back on the next day. I honestly didn't think I was going to be able to record today because I woke up not being able to even speak. My voice would not come out at all this morning. My husband even stayed home because there's carpenters that came over and I couldn't talk to them. So my voice got better as my cough died down and I drank lots of water. So the Little Mermaid tale. I don't know where how this is going to play in, but I'm kind of interested.
人魚たちは死ねば泡となって消えてしまいますが、人間は魂を持っており、死ねば冥界へ行けると言います。死してなお、別の世界に引き裂かれてしまう。それでも恋をした人魚姫は、人間になるために代償を支払うことを決めました。海の魔女に大切なものを差し出して、300年生きられる人魚の身を捨て、短命である人間になることを選んだのです。
Sounds like another part of a book. It sounds like he's reading these stories. What was the last one about? I don't even remember. It's funny how now he's talking about the Little Mermaid when in Love and Deep Space there's a mermaid myth of Raphael. And I'm like fangirling over it so hard because I've been a Little Mermaid fan since I was like 5. So Little Mermaid has always been my favorite Disney movie, and it still is today. And like Raphael is not even like I didn't even like Raphael before this. I started playing him in Japanese because I can't stand how I guess he's playful and moody at the same time, and the voice actor he seems way too pouty in the English voice acting. So it's conveyed less in Japanese, and now that I know that Raphael's voice actor is Seiya, because I didn't put two and two together. Well, yeah, I didn't put two and two together when I read it. Like, I read who they were at the very beginning, but after I played Seiya's roots, like, I didn't think about it until I decided to switch it over to Japanese. And I'm like, wait a second. I know that I read his voice actor in one of the games I'm currently playing. So I went to go find it, and I'm like, he sounds very familiar. And it was Seiya, and I'm like, well, you put Seiya's voice on Raphael and combined it with the mermaid myth, and now I've been binging all of Raphael's stuff since yesterday. So I've watched YouTube videos on his backstory. Like, I want to know all about him. He's become far more interesting to me. I liked his backstory as a whole. I always did, but him as a character, I just didn't like. But after hearing his backstory and why he acts like this, I understand him a lot more. And I don't know, he's kind of growing on me now, especially in Seiya's voice. I haven't read The Mermaid Myth yet. I've been binging everything else, trying to learn all his backstory before I do The Mermaid Myth, because I want it to make sense. So that's what I plan on doing tomorrow. I could have done it today while the carpenters were here, but I just felt anxious and restless because there was just constant noise all day long, and I felt like I couldn't relax and read anything. And they're going to be here tomorrow as well, but not as long. They're already done putting the shelves together. They're just going to put the doors on and put the shelves in. They're making a whole custom bookshelf in our living room. But sorry, anyway, enough of my yapping. This video is already long enough. A few days later, oh my goodness, we're back in the peak room. We were invited by Clarice to her home and were suddenly handed a mask for a masquerade party. Oh, that sounds fun.
じゃーん、これかわいいでしょう。あなたに似合うと思って調達してきたんだけど、ちょっと試しにつけてくれない？
You know, this reminds me of the masquerade party that Sailor Moon went to. Like, she went to a ball. I don't remember. I think it was very early in the series. And I'm remembering it from Sailor Moon Crystal's perspective, because that's the most recent in my mind. And when she sees Tuxedo Mask, she doesn't know who he is. But she hates him as a person. But whenever she sees him in a mask, she's just like, you know what? Like, I could get used to you. That's just what it makes me think of. Every time I think of Masquerade Ball, I think of Sailor Moon. It is cute, but what is it for?
もちろん仮面舞踏会用の仮面よ。
もちろんって、まさか悪魔界で仮面舞踏会が開催されるなんて言わないよな。
そのまさかよ。実はね、今日はサバトなの。だから仮面舞踏会があるのよ。
I totally forgot what the Sabbath is. I know it's a grand celebration, but I don't know what it is in hell.
サバトで仮面舞踏会をやるなんて初耳なんだが。
Actually, by Sabbath, do you mean the gathering of demons?
そう。言っとくけど、100年前とは全然違うわよ。サバトって言っても平和的なサバトなんだから。
Yeah, I thought it was like, I don't know, a grand get together, not get together, but like a grand slaughter of like humans. Like I thought, like a grand feast. What does a peaceful Sabbath even mean? The Sabbath I've been before was an event where demons ate people. I couldn't imagine it being peaceful.
うんうん。やっぱあなたにはこのデザインが似合うわね。じゃ、これ持っていこうっと。
I almost said you should have got Ryuki to make the design, but he probably died like 100 years ago. I snapped her fingers and the mask I was holding suddenly vanished. She mentioned she'd take it, so I assumed it was stored somewhere. However, I had no way of knowing where. There was so many things greater demons could do that I didn't understand.
ってことで、クラリスちゃんによる悪魔会ツアーを開催してあげる。バッチリ見どころを紹介しちゃうわ。
I swear, if we get a masquerade CG, it will be well worth the wait, in my opinion. Thanks, but Clarence, can I ask you something?
何？何でも聞いて。
What's that fluffy thing? There was a mysterious fluffy creature on Clarice's shoulder. Oh? Is that her little, what do they call it? Is that her little imp? The fluffy creature occasionally flew and about, stirring my curiosity.
この子は使い魔よ。
ぎゅい
Hey, it made a sound. Totally forgot Cupid Parasite doesn't make good sound effects.
というか、使い魔って。従属させるのは好きじゃないって昔言ってなかったか？
そうなんだけど、二人を見てたら誰かと一緒にいるのもいいなって思っちゃって。悪魔の契約をして連れてきちゃった。
ぎゅー
A demon's pact.
何？あら、もしかしてそんな基本中の基本もこの子に教えてなかったの？
Well, of course not. He's been wanting her to live as closely to a human as possible. He's kept all these demon stuff from her.
そういうのは余計な知識だと思ったんだよ。この子は俺が力を注ぐだけで上級悪魔になれる。罪を犯す方法なんて知らなくていいだろう。
Oh, they're forbidden.
はいはい、お熱いことで。でもここは悪魔界よ。人間界で暮らしてたうちはそれでもよかったかもしれないけど、ここに来た以上どこかしらで耳にすると思うわ。他の悪魔に間違った知識を吹き込まれる前にちゃんと正しく教えておきなさい。
うん。わかったよ。
I looked at Clarice, unable to follow the conversation. She just smiled and continued to talk.
悪魔はね、契約で人間の魂を持っていけるの。だから私が人間界で付き合ってた人の魂を持ってきて使い魔にしてみたのよ。
Well, no wonder Alan's not a fan of it. It enslaves humans. What? You just brought his soul here and he was once human.
そりゃそうよ。使い魔だもん。
Is that really okay?
一応悪魔の契約は合意の上で交わされるものだ。君も納得してここにいるんだろ？
Okay, well, at least it's less bad, but I'm sure Alan's still not okay with it.
ぎゅい
Clarice's familiar joyfully circled around her. It was clear he held affection for Clarice.
もうはしゃがないの。RB ったら。
What was Robin's last name? I'm really curious. What if this is Robin?
ぎゅ
His name is RB.
ニックネームよ。ロビンブレッドだから RB。マザーグースみたいでいいでしょ。
That's messed up in its own way. Yeah, he would be dead by now because he's a human, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. The poem Who Killed Cock Robin came to mind. Is Clarice inspired by that rhyme? What an odd choice for a name. Not CR, but RB. Where did bread come from? Has Clarice always had an affinity for pastries? Maybe it's not the same Robin. Wouldn't it be kind of morbid if it was? Because she like fell in love with him and all the other roots. And then she just liked him so much. She's like, she's gonna be my familiar for all eternity.
とにかく悪魔の契約については後でちゃんと教えるよ。
Sure.
じゃあ悪魔会ツアーに行きましょう。出発！
I feel like his last name did start with a B, but I don't think it was bread. I'll have to go look it up now. Claire said the way as we started this tour of hers, but my thoughts kept returning to our earlier conversation. Packed with a human soul. I didn't realize that human souls could be brought to hell, and it was a shock that a demon so close to me was able to do that. It was apparently consensual, and the spirit seemed content, but still I felt unsettling.
Gooey.
He looks like a divine beast, but he was once a human. Claire said she used to date him. That meant she had feelings for him. Probably as Robin. She used the demon's pact to reunite with his soul. It was similar to how Allan extracted my soul to force my reincarnation. Then the whispers of the distant demons reached my ears.
あの新しい悪魔、相変わらず妙な気配がするな。
I wonder why she seems strange. I feel like there's going to be something about her that makes her different from every other demon. I'm not sure what it is yet. Allan keeps reading her like fairy tale poetry, and she wants to have a child, and for something else too. But yeah, she's gonna be different somehow.
元は神だったって話だろう。それでなんじゃないか。
The watchful eyes observed us from the shadows, but they seemed less wary than before. As we approached them, they would flap their wings and retreat a little further.
しかしあいつらも人間らしく暮らしたいと思うなんてほんと変わってるよ。悪魔だってのにさ。
I swear that guy's voice plays like every villain or antagonist in this entire game.
悪魔界も随分前より賑やかになったな。
Allan wrapped an arm around my shoulder, shooting a glare at the other demons. Though we were both greater demons now, he still had an instinct to protect me. You're right, it's definitely busier now. Seems everyone seems to be having fun. Not all the demons were hovering around us. There were many others that gathered, talking amongst themselves.
そりゃ平和的に変わったとはいえサバトだからね。みんなはしゃいでるみたい。
As I'm talking, I feel like my voice is much better from yesterday's. I could talk louder, like my audio mixer is like going up higher than normal, but higher than yesterday. I feel like I can achieve my usual range of octaves now.
本当にサバトにしては随分と平和だな。100年前とは大違いだ。
Back when I was kidnapped for the Sabbath, there were lit torches and sacrificial lambs, but none of that was here today. He said it's become more peaceful, but how did that happen?
ああ、ほら、神に攻め込まれるリスクがあるから、数年前、普通のフェスティバルに切り替わったのよ。
Yeah, they don't want you eating humans.
オクトーバーフェストとかを参考にしたって言ってたと思ったけど。
Oktoberfest. Halloween. The beer thing? Well, in World of Warcraft, that was around November, and it was called like Brewfest or something like that.
ええ、あれなら神の怒りを買わないで済むでしょ。
そりゃそうかもしれないが、まさか悪魔の連中が神々の怒りを恐れるだなんてな。
Why would they not be afraid? You're afraid of them.
上級悪魔のアラン・メルビルがジュピターの雷で大怪我を負ったっていうのが結構ショックだったみたいよ。
ああ、そんなこともあったな。
So it's all your fault. That was back in Greece.
でも中世の頃は人間を食べ過ぎて結構神々の怒りを買って悪魔は消されてなかったか？
そうね。今もたまに消されてるみたいよ。人間の魂を食べたところとかを狙われてね。それでも食べるのはやめてないんだけど、前より人目を気にするようになったっていうか、サバトはむしろ目くらましね。だってサバトなんて大々的にやったら神々が攻め込む格好の標的になるじゃない。だからあくまで形式的なものにしちゃったの。魂を食うならこっそりってことね。ちなみに言い出しっぺはもちろんサタンよ。
Oh. How do you eat souls in secret, though?
はあ、なるほどね。相変わらずやることが姑息なことだ。
そりゃあ悪魔だもん。でもサタンは結構悔しいみたいよ。神々に負けたみたいな気がするって。
ああ、サタンならそう言うだろうな。
Hey, Allan, is Satan the biggest demon in hell?
まあ、うん。そうだよ。俺たち上級悪魔よりもさらに上位の存在。深海でいうところの主神みたいなものだ。
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Did we go and say hi at least?
いや、しなくていい。というかしない方がいいな。
I don't think I would go say hi to the greater demon, the greatest of all demons. That seems like a bad idea.
そうそう。あんなおっかない悪魔には近寄らないに越したことはないわよ。
He's not friendly like Jupiter, I'm sure.
深海風に言うと破滅と滅亡を司る神って感じだもの。
So he'd be Zeus. Destruction and extinction. Wondering just how dangerous Satan could be, I started to feel shivers down my spine. If he's the greatest demon in hell, and they said that he was the leader, he must be as powerful as Lord Jupiter.
それよりせっかくだしお酒飲んでみない？ほら、あれとか美味しそうじゃない。ザクロ酒だって。飲んでみましょうよ。
Pomegranate wine, I was reminded of the myth I learned about in college, the story of Lord Pluto and Lady Persephone. Persephonia? This wine won't stop us from being... that was the first story he told. I guess it wasn't a fairy tale story. That was the first one Allan was like reading in a book. This wine won't stop us from being able to go back to the human realm, right?
プロセルピナ神の話か。
何？ザクロに何かあるの？
ああ、ギリシャ神話にあるんだ。ザクロを食べたら元いた世界に帰れなくなったってエピソードがさ。でもあれは冥界だし、そもそもザクロにそんな効能はない。だから大丈夫だよ。
Oh, I see. Wait, the underworld and hell are different.
ああ、同じだと勘違いしている神や人間もいるみたいだけれど、実際には違うんだ。悪魔界の近くにあるにはあるんだが、俺たち悪魔には行けない場所にあるんだよ。確か天界と深海みたいな感じで、冥界へは扉で隔てられていたはずだ。あそこも神の領域だからな。
There's a large gate that connects heaven and the underworld? Oh, really? The underworld, hell, the afterlife. There were many names for this world that lay beneath the earth. I'd always assumed that it was the same place, just with different names, but apparently there were clear differences. But the underworld is also the god's territory. I recalled that Lord Pluto of the Dicostitans, also known as Hades, resided in the underworld. So Lord Pluto was the god of the underworld after all. And it seemed that the underworld was a separate place from Celestia as well. So demons aren't born in the underworld.
ああ。冥界は死者がたどり着く場所だ。何かが生まれる場所ではないし、生きた者は入れない。
The living cannot enter. Does that mean demons too? I assume demons are living. Well, they said they were banned anyway. My heart jumped upon hearing about the dead. Was he talking about humans, or did demons also die? I knew nothing about the life cycle of demons. I didn't want to ask, so I pushed those ominous thoughts aside. Lord Pluto isn't in hell then, right?
そうね。というか、神が悪魔界に来たら大変よ。絶対サタンが黙ってないわ。サタンは神が大嫌いだもん。
Oh, really? Would something bad happen to me if he discovers I was a former god?
平気平気。元神とか元天使の悪魔は結構いるから。
Oh, so there are many.
ってことで、ザクロシは飲んで大丈夫だし、飲みましょう。3人分もらってくるわ。
Thanks.
ギュイーギュー一緒に来てくれるの？ありがとう。
Paris and her familiar RB rushed into the tent that was serving pomegranate wine. Though he resembled a mascot, their bond was evident. The trust between them was strong. The demons packed.
気になる？
Yeah, he must have loved her so much to entrust his soul to her.
そうだね。死んだ後に冥界へ行って生まれ変わることを選ばず、あそこに留まると決めたんだ。
So he says it's where the dead arrive. He just said reincarnating through the underworld. So do the dead go to the underworld and they get reincarnated into the next life? What, is that the cycle?
並大抵の気持ちじゃないよ。
I see.
俺たちもする？悪魔の契約ってやつをさ。
What human souls would you imprison, though? You can?
今の君ならできるよ。俺を従属させて契約に縛るぐらいさ。
You can subordinate me according to a pact that you define. Make you a familiar? What? Subordinate?
悪魔の契約ってのは相手の支配権を握るものなんだ。どんな命令も拒否できなくなる。
Do you want to subject yourself to her every command?
契約をしてしまえば相手の全てが思いのままだ。でも君にならいいよ。俺の支配権を委ねても。
I find it intriguing that he's even offering this. No way, I don't want that. I know, right? I would want you to make your own choices too. I don't want to be in charge of you. Allan, I want us to be equals. No mastery or subjugation. I would never agree to that.
君ならそう言ってくれると思っていたよ。
Was that a test? Huh? Are you testing me?
いや、君になら支配されても構わないってのは本心だよ。
You cared a lot when she was trying to offer you powers. She was taking control. You did not like it.
でも、俺も君と対等でいたかったからさ。君もそう思ってくれてたってのが嬉しいんだ。だけど、覚えていて。悪魔は界の悪魔を契約で縛って従属させられる。君は今上級悪魔だから滅多なことはないと思うけれど、それでも用心するんだ。
Are you worried that she's going to be bind? Sure, thanks. The only one who could bind her would be Satan, right? I recalled the moment when Allan bit my neck. I felt powerless against him then. Such was the disparity in strength between demons. For the past century, Allan had been infusing me with his power. His goal was to transform me into a greater demon for my safety. He once mentioned committing sins to become a greater demon, all in a bid to find a way to guard me. It was a somber tale from his past. Did I miss something? My button skipped too fast. I didn't get to read this. Yet his sacrifices weren't in vain. They were crucial for us to be together safely. I just noticed that it actually says Sabbath in red flames in the back. We held hands, gazing at the dark sky. Hell didn't seem as menacing to me.
今年のサバトもいい食べ物揃ってるわね。
Allan and Clarice explored various stalls, purchasing alcohol and sausages. What's the currency in hell, I wonder? The atmosphere so closely mirrored a festival from the human realm that I momentarily forgot we were observing the Sabbath. I heard music playing from somewhere, the kind that urged me to dance. Sounds like wedding music. What's that?
あ、ついにメインイベントが始まったわね。
Put on your mask. Oh, this is the masquerade party, right? Put on your mask and go dance.
メインイベント？
仮面舞踏会よ。
Clarice guided me to a spot where numerous demons danced hand in hand. As expected of a masquerade, everyone wore masks. Oh, that's incredible.
これがサバトだっていうのか。
It didn't Allan avoid them in the past? I think every time there was a Sabbath, I think he just like hid out in the human realm.
そう、悪魔界の繁栄を願って踊るのよ。ほら見て、サタンも来てる。
Oh. Huh? Where?
あそこの塔の上にいる。ベールの奥だから姿は見えないけれど、力だけは感じるだろ。
So mysterious. He's right. I felt a shiver as I gazed up at the tower. Even without direct view, I knew he was there. The most formidable demon who rules over hell, Satan's mere presence made me tremble. After a time, it seemed Satan stopped observing the Sabbath and departed, as I felt his overwhelming aura recede. Phew.
怖かった。
Yeah, just a little. Goosebumps still pricked my skin. My hand moved instinctively to my arm, rubbing them as I looked up at the now empty tower. There was no one there anymore, but the residue of my fear persisted.
そっか。さすがに君にもあの気配はわかるみたいだね。
ま、あれのおかげで悪魔界も神に攻め込まれずに済んでるんだけどね。神もサタンには勝てないって思ってるみたいだし。
I'm sure Jupiter can put him a run for his money.
でも、君がわかるぐらいには強いんだ。絶対に、サタンには近づいちゃダメだよ。
Yeah.
ほらほら、せっかくのサバトなんだから、そんな神気臭い顔してないで、私たちも踊りましょう。
I wonder if they talk to him later. This game likes to foreshadow and hint at things, and I feel like we've been given a lot of hints during Allan's route so far. With a snap of Clarice's fingers, Allan and my outfits transformed. Oh.
じゃあ踊るわよ。行くわよ、my darling.
My darling, that's what she said. Yes, and give us a screenshot, please. Please, I want a screenshot. At Clarice's cue, her familiar morphed into a human form. Oh. Grasping his hand, she dove into the sea of dancing figures, her face lighting up with childlike joy. I want to see. Is it Robin? So that's the man Clarice adores so much. I caught only a fleeting glimpse of him, but he struck me as a handsome, kind-hearted individual.
俺たちも行こうか。
Since they're not showing him, I have a hunch that we're gonna CG in a second. Yes. As I placed my hand in his, we were swept into the circle of dancing demons. Oh my goodness. I knew it would be beautiful, but I was so taken aback by it. His hair is done up in a ponytail. Wait, I thought her hair was short. Or did she grow hair when her gown transformed? Ah, it's so beautiful. Look at his wig. I'm sorry, I love purple, in case I haven't said that enough in these games, but oh my goodness. I just can't get enough of that scene. Like, okay, I'm looking back at my desktop, and that wedding scene is very beautiful, but I think we're going to be changing it again. Allan immediately got into the rhythm. Guiding me with expertise, his moves were so elegant that it seemed I was discovering yet another side of him.
上手だね。
It's because you're so apt at leading.
そっか。
Like, I find dances like this to be so romantic, and I love it when games and like animes put a waltz or a dance, like some kind of party into it. Just melts my heart to watch two people dancing together like this. As we danced a twirl here, a spin there, I almost recalled a distant memory. Oh? Huh? The sensation of dancing with Allan was eerily familiar. Something felt nostalgic. Whenever I felt this way, it meant it was when you were in heaven, then. Allan, did we ever dance like this in heaven? It was a distant memory, one I wasn't entirely sure of, yet as I posed the question, I noticed Allan's sharp intake of breath.
あるよ。
Aww. I knew it. Unlike me, who lost my memories prior to becoming a god, Allan remembered everything from the time he was an angel before his fall. He probably recalled moments I'd long forgotten. Now I wish I could remember all of our shared moments. The thought of forgotten memories saddened me. That's why I decided to simply enjoy the moment. Allan, let's dance as we once did.
前と同じようにって、空を飛んで？
Yes, we can do that now, can't we? You have wings.
そうだね。
Does she though? We unleashed. Oh yeah, I forgot she did. He went soaring above Lost York with their wings. I totally forgot they did that. We unleashed our demonic powers and spread our wings wide. I heard the crowd murmur, likely from fear of greater demons unleashing their powers. But behind his mask, I saw his kind gaze. I was the only one who might have noticed that. We saw our reflections in each other's eyes, and we kept dancing to our heart's content without a single care. I mean, I know other demons might be scared of it, but if I was a lesser demon, I would be like awestruck by it. I would be so jealous. Like, I want pretty wings like that. He flew through the skies of hell and glided above the fearful demons. The fun masquerade continued on. I enjoyed this first event since I came to hell with Allan. That was fun. That made my day. That was well worth the CG wait, and probably, hopefully that's worth the hour and 40-minute video that this is going to be. Allan and I descended to the ground, and we both ordered a lemon soda for a break.
楽しかったね。
Allan smiled shyly as he looked at the ring of demons still dancing. I noticed that Clarice and Robin were still there. I'm glad to see Clarice enjoying herself. Clarice showed a sweet expression that I rarely saw as she danced with her familiar. Just looking at her was fun for me.
でも、少し調子に乗りすぎたみたいだな。
Oh, we need some energy restored. Allan looked at his surroundings. I noticed many lesser demons staring at us with wide open eyes. Okay, maybe not.
今の本当にアラン・メルビルだったのか。笑ったりするんだな。
Yeah, he's in love. Oh, they're right. The other demons should have been afraid of him as a greater demon, but they were all interested enough to continue observing. One of them started to approach us.
なあ、あんた、元は神だったって、本当か。
I glanced at Allan, unsure if I should respond. After a brief pause, he nodded.
そうだが、それがどうした？
あ、いや、あいつらが気にしてんだよ。で、聞いてこいって言うから。
My friends told me to come ask you.
あいつら？
I noticed some small demons eyeing a distinct group of demons that exuded a peculiar aura. Those demons stood out from the rest, their slender figures, postures, and distant stares reminded me of gods. Oh. Could this be related to some demon pact that made them subordinate? It was unusual for demons to follow orders, as they typically valued their freedom. The lesser demons must have struck a deal or pact of some sort. But why are they interested in us? The demons that were other former gods? I mean, I would be interested too.
それは我々も元は神だった悪魔だからだ。
Former god demon one. Huh? Suddenly, those godly demons were right before us. Allan unfurled his wing, positioning himself protectively in front of me.
何の用だ？
いや、同じくかつて神だった悪魔が来たと聞いてな。我々のように神を憎んでいないかと気になってきたのだ。
She does not, in fact, hate the gods?
ああ、自分らを追放し、悪魔を蔑む神は憎いだろう。だから誘いに来たのだ。共に神に逆襲をしないかとな。
Uh-oh. Is it conflict time? Professor Melville's secret lesson. Oh, really? It's funny. I paused for a minute and a half because I got into a coughing fit, and I drank some of my tea to make my throat feel better so I could start talking again. And all I needed to do was press the A button, and it would have just went to this. It would have been over. But I thought we're going to have a conflict here. I mean, it'll probably arise later, but I wasn't expecting it to just end like that. That's funny. Well, I have another 48-minute video to edit. Luckily, I've already edited the first hour and 20 minutes, but it went down to an hour and 8 minutes afterwards. But I wasn't expecting another 40-minute video. This video is going to be long. I apologize, but I need a CG. I have to have CGs. If it makes the video long, I have to have CGs. I didn't get more than once. I can't break it up like Jupiter's. Even Jupiter had a long one because they just wouldn't give me one. And then they gave me 5. There was no choices in that. There's no choices in that one. How many choices do we have left? We are about halfway through the choices. We're a little bit more than half. We did 8 and there's 6 left, but there's 3 more save files in those 6, so I don't expect this to end anytime soon. It's probably good. We're probably going to be, I don't know, this is what, episode 3? There's going to be probably at least another 3, maybe 4. That's just my guess. I'm guessing it's not going to end. This is going to be a really long route. At least I hope anyway. I don't really care if it is. I don't want to end Cupid Parasite. And I'm fine with Allan's route because he's my favorite. I say that, but then Jupiter's my favorite also, so I don't know, actually. Well, anyway, things are just happening. I wonder when the plot is going to thicken and put it into quotations. They're just doing things right now. There's nothing to solve. There's no problem. So I wonder when the problem is going to arise. Probably whenever we go to the next save file and there's 3 saves after that. I don't know. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy, drop a like down below and or subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.